Okay, a bit more documentation of the evolution of this room. I prefer to call it that, an evolution of this room, because it is a very different look and feel, and differences for the functionality, how I want to use the room as well. So all of the wallpapering is done, and I think it looks great. I don't know what other people's likes and dislikes are, but I love it. It's all done, and I've got the blinds rolled up at the moment, all over, all done, and I think I've already mentioned I put the shelving up. I've changed plug socket down further down here to a more modern one. Long story short, there was wear and tear on the plug socket. Light switch. It was easier to get the old ones off anyway, for the wallpaper to go over and just make a little hole rather than cut around a piece. It's kind of a cheat mode, if you will. Picture up behind. I can lean out the way. Some of you would have seen that picture in the old room. And this poster and this picture as well. Fish tank came this morning about a quarter of an hour before I was due to head off to work, so that was ideal timing. I just rolled it up the stairs and unboxed it and put it on there. Ideal thing about this, probably find a way to waterproof it, is part of the packaging. You can see a brown top there as part of the packaging. That's not a lid. I bought just a fish tank. There's nothing else. There's no mod cons, nothing. It's just a fish tank. Just an empty, just a glass box. But as part of the packaging, there was some really nice solid MDF board, two of them as part of the packaging there. Now, one of these can go on the back with just a black background, which sounds like, why you want a black background? Do you want something interesting? You'll see once it's fully. When that happens, I don't know. And I said that about many other things, when it's going to happen, but we'll just see when it's fully functioning, that fish tank. The vase, where's the vase? And those of you who know about why I got a fish tank and the vases, ecosystem, those who know. So if I can maneuver myself a little, there's a vase on the floor there. Here's a mirror that needs to go somewhere. That would go on one of these doors, one of these cubbyhole doors. So when I open the door, I'll be able to, on the inside. Actually, I don't want it on the outside. So when I open the door, I can see myself and get ready for, maybe I'm off out or something. So yeah, this is ideal. The two of these MDF boards, so the right size I could coat this, waterproof this, and get holes drilled in it as well. And that'd be ideal for a functional lid. The tank didn't come with a lid. It's if you're interested in who they are, it's All Pond Solutions. Would give you just a glass box, and it's they call it non-iron glass or something. It's very, very clear glass, and it's very minimal. Even the sealant is very clear. Some fish tanks have like a black sealant. It looks great. I mean, so clear it is. It's almost like it's not there. Once I achieve, hopefully at some point in the future, achieve the balance I want to get in a ecosystem, the water will be very much taken care of itself. It won't be cloudy. It won't have as much an algal problem either, as I have in the past with different fish tanks. That's a long time ago though, so years ago, and planted aquarium, a proper system that takes some care of itself, some self-maintenance. Of course, I will have to intervene. It's not something you just throw together and just do nothing with. You have to take some responsibility. But it'll be a minimal maintenance because of the hard work gone into it in the first place, the research to the right plants, right creatures. And this has been things I've learned from when I did the vase as well, and which was very short-lived because of things getting in the way here and there, and finances mainly, definitely finances. So that was like, I know people were interested, I was getting excited where it's going to go, and then I thought, oh, I can't quite afford it yet, whatever stage I was at, and it kind of put a stop to it. And then other things like just general life expenditure, and it put it on pause. It's we will get there. And then general conversation between myself and the other occupant that lives in this household was like, oh yeah, I'll swap with you. The end result was me saying, oh, yeah, I'll swap. So that's pushed things like ecosystem and all that further down the line as well, because here we are. So this was me some time ago, and you see the look and feel to the room completely different. There was pastel blue walls and a white wall. All these walls were pastel blue except for the wall that frames the window, and that was a white wall. Not my character, not me at all, but it was the other occupant. Blue curtains, no, I took those off, put blinds on, got some electrics done with cubbyhole here in this corner. Next to me is got some plug sockets now where I could plug something in, like my printer. So the printer's out the way, it's on shelving in the cubbyhole, and in front of the computer all you got to do is click if I want something printed, and the signal will reach. It's a wireless Wi-Fi printer anyway. So I think I've mentioned it before. The blinds, these blinds, see the wooden bar straight across is from an old blind, and I cabled these two blinds, there's two blinds there, not just one, to it, and lobbed the wooden bar over hooks there that are screwed in where the old curtain rail was. So those hooks came with the blinds anyway. So I can independently scroll one down and not the other if I wanted to. Have as much light coming in or as little, whatever. And that's the thing I've loved about doing this. Whenever there's something like this to do, it's like a mantra, something old, something new, something borrowed. And I really enjoy improvising like that, because, I was looking online, need a wooden bar, and couldn't buy just one. It was in packs of 10. But then I thought, just rip apart the old one, just use that, so it didn't cost me anything. And of course, now I can use this MDF board as well for things for the fish tank at some point in the future, and using bits of the old desk I had, old corner desk, to increase the surface area of my new desk, that everything is on the new desk. Is this desk part of the old desk? Is this with the old corner desk? Cheshire Vic has a very similar corner desk. Well, this one is this Sonmix. Also, Sonmix is also Vasago, or however you pronounce it, It's a company who does these desks like this, and they have this lovely kind of finish, and this matches. And of course, that over there modified slightly. I didn't want the top of it misplaced. It was like, because it was corner desk, top of that where the fish tank is was kind of off center deliberately, so part of the design of the framework that it was sat on, so that the next piece, another piece, could go overlap, if you know what if that makes any sense. Because part of the legging, the bars, the leg framework would then screw into the next piece, so that these pieces would join together into a corner arrangement. But what I did to make that secure is centered it, but glued it. It was a very strong glue. However, with the weight of just the glass tank there with nothing in it, there is some wobble around there. So I'm thinking, yeah, I decided on a actual aquarium stand, and because of the dimensions of this aquarium in the UK, you don't, I don't know if other countries or whatever, I say UK because this is what I've been looking at, what's available to me to be transported to me. The dimensions, usually you get like a foot, maybe a tiny bit more depth from the front to the back of the aquarium. This one is, let's see, yeah, yeah, it's 1 foot and 1, 2, 3, 1 foot 4 inches from the front to the back. Normally, you would get 1 foot. So all the aquarium stands are like 1 foot from front to back. Now, that wasn't any good for me. The majority of them, I finally found one that is going to be big enough. I hope. I think I'll double check before I buy that. But the problem with this is, watch this. I don't know if you could see that bit of a wobble there. And while there's water in there, if it accidentally gets bumped or whatever, all that wobble, it's gonna exponentially increase that wobble a bit. I don't want that. Okay, it should be all right theoretically, but I don't want to take the risk and end up with a fish tank, broken fish tank on the floor. It's a very sturdy, strong desk otherwise, but it's not for heavy weight of water and hard, what do they call it, with just the rocks and other the stuff that would be in the aquarium. So I will be keeping cherry shrimp in there. I will be keeping chili rosboras in there, and I might go for perhaps some pygmy corydoras, some other things. But this is going to be built up over time. It will start off with nutrient-rich substrate that can feed the plants, and it'll be a planted aquarium for quite some time. And later I will introduce some fish. There's no hard and solid way to run aquarium in a ecosystem mindset kind of way. People have heard of Wallstad method, and there's variations on that. So even Wallstad method is not really one specific method. People have taken it, and so there's nothing set in stone. There's no hard and fast rule, but there is plenty of ways not to run a fish tank, and there are plenty of ways not to cram some fish into tiny containers. I've seen a lot of sort of the grandiose around better fish. And, you know, it's Siamese fighting fish, the better fish. And sure, they don't need much space at all, but it doesn't mean you can plop one in a tiny bowl and they'd be relatively okay, perhaps, but it doesn't mean that they're going to be as happy as they could be in a much larger space. Yeah, and they've been bred for you see those extra bled out fins a lot. They're not like that in the wild. Usually they flare the fins out and all that when they like standoffish to other males or displaying their fins to a female. But there's nowhere near all this flared out fin stuff. And the inbreeding of certain aquatic fish in the hobby, past a certain point, that's not all right. They're quite happy like that. They swim, they're agile swimmers and all this. But you get like what they did to some goldfish. I think they struggle. It's what they've done to some dogs. Some dogs' eyes fall out, or other health issues, can't breathe properly. The same with some goldfish. You have these bubbly eyes and cumbersome way of swimming, swim bladder issues. It's cruel. And there's a number of people out there who said, "Oh, don't care what you think. It's silly to obsess over it." I think it's not silly to obsess over it because these are things that suffer needlessly. Then you could argue, oh, they wouldn't know any different. They're born like that. Yeah. But they're more prone to disease as well. So, yeah, it's. I don't past a certain point, I find it just cruel, and I think some dogs shouldn't be allowed to be bred. Well, or we got to leave things alone. But when it comes to coloration, though, red cherry shrimp don't exist out there in nature. You have the different colors in Neocardina shrimp in the wild, and they have freckles, they're brown and they're different dots here and there. And the reddest of those dots or whatever can be selectively bred for some redder ones and keep doing that. There's even one that's green, very rare. But if you can achieve that, you can sell them for a higher price. Breeding them is very easy. However, if you put different colors together, if you're looking to breed specific colors, putting several different colors together, they eventually default to the natural color. Which I don't know, it's not necessarily a bad thing. If you want to capitalize, monetize it, you could get some unique variants. There's a number of variants out there. There's crystal ones, you get red patches and then it's almost clear and then another red patch. Bumblebee, I think, is the name of it. Because there's like bands and stripes. That's fine, I think, with the coloration, because you're not changing the structure of the animal, you're changing pigmentation. And if you look at the general behavior of Neocardina shrimp, I don't think they're bothered by who's colored what color at all. But it's appealing for the human observation, I guess. So, Chili Rosboras are breedable. I've bred, we bred Corydoras catfish many years ago. It squished a blob of eggs on the glass. I think there was some on the rock as well. And we didn't know what this little gelatinous white blob was in the fish tank way back when. Well, not harming anyone. Maybe it's algal growth or whatever. We just leave it there, right? And you see them like cleaning around it quite a bit. And one morning you see these tiny, tiny dots skitting around the rock like they're grazing it. Now, what's that? And over time, these little tiny dots got a little bit bigger, and they was like perfect little replicas of the shape of it. There we had albino Corydoras. I think for something like this, I want to maximize, utilize plants going in, and the fish, animals that may be in there. Certainly, shrimp are going to go in there. I want them fairly small. So Chili Roseborers are tiny. You can get pygmy Corydoras, so hence the name. They're the much smaller version, a variant. And recently learned that Corydoras have a very mild like poison that they can use to sting as a protective measure, and it doesn't. It's you might get almost like a. It's not quite even like a bee sting, but you know if they're. I think it might be some barbs by their eyes, or is it dorsal fin? I'm not sure. Need to do a little bit more research on that. They have like bony kind of spikes in their fins. I think that's just general structure. That's not what they're stinging. Is extremely rare to be used. It's a self-defense thing if they're under too much stress. So I never knew that, and I've known about Corydoras catfish for many years. Again, we used to keep some, and they're fun to watch because they're always active, sifting through the substrate, the bottom dwelling. Usually, there is a Corydoras that's usually, yeah, they're bottom dwelling, but they do like the midwater a bit as well. A certain breed, a certain variation. So it's all interesting. I find it fascinating. With that's what I'm learning on YouTube about all that as well. But the room, yeah, the room is definitely evolving. I've got some flooring on order. There's only going to be a little bit at a time. I cannot afford to, you know, it's. I'm going to have a look at what's it? It's not. Can't remember. Oh, damn, a name escapes me. But it's a thing that if somebody was interested in helping getting things like fish tanks and all that, is what was it? Wish list, not Amazon, because I try to veer away from Amazon. Amazon. Yeah, because you know, fuck America and all that kind of thing. Where was it? So I'll put it on my YouTube, I'm sure. My head. Never that clear. Have a look. We get there in a minute. The name escapes me at the moment. No. Throne. There we go. Throne. If you go to throne.com/exploratory minds, that's. And I need to get some point videos out on Exploratory Minds YouTube channel, because that is still something I want to do, and it was certainly something I had time and effort to do during lockdown, the nasty side of COVID. So yeah, throne.com/exploratory minds, all one word, and yeah, have a look at that. And there's things on there I've put up. I haven't visited. I'm just looking at it now, and I haven't really visited that. I've been so busy with other things. Yeah, there's a nano tank thing there as well. I've notice I've listed. I changed some things here and there. I got Amazon wish list on my phone. I'm going to take that off. Need to log in there and just readjust some things. Certainly, like the fact that on some things with Throne, I think all things, you can have it like crowdfunding for that specific product, in which you don't have to have other people buy it for you, but they can fund a little bit of money towards that thing. So if I might have a look and change some things here and there, and I'll start putting a link below my videos if you're interested in aiding my work in this room. And the eventually really I started things on there for the ecosystem, fish keeping. So if you want to aid some of that in the future, I'll be putting a link below, and just click it and you'll see what's on there available for helping me do some of these things. So getting back to the ecosystem, it would be a whole food chain, a food web has been referred to as, to create, to allow like plants to do well, the fish to do well, the shrimp to do well. And how they do well is waste is produced, which feeds the plants. But biofilms can be growing on excess waste that shrimp can eat on the biofilm as well. And it's all a food chain. Tiny scuds, you've seen some scud videos I uploaded as well. They will break down dead matter. If there's any parts of the plants that break down, die, and sure, there'll be trimming and trimming it back. I'll be keeping some of that to try and recycle the nutrients back into the system at some point. I don't want to recycle from day one, because the chances are it needs to find its balance. I might have too much nutrients to start with. Once it's got a fair amount of balance, you can recycle that kind of thing. Handy hint for shrimp is on a new setup, give them a dried like dead leaf or Indian almond leaf, I think it's called as well. You can use those, cut those, put them in the aquarium, and they start to release tannins that are good for occupants, as well as breaking down with a biofilm and nutrients is good for the occupants. Yeah, and shrimp are very good cleaners, if you will. They will eat the algae, they eat the biofilms that build up, they will even eat and keep down snails. A lot of people in the aquatic hobby, the aquarium hobby, fish keeping, know about sometimes snail population can get out of hand, but it will also balance out past a certain point, because snails can only have so much sustenance before the sustenance runs out, the nutrients, what they feed on, algal growth and so on. But shrimp have been known to eat snails' eggs as well. So there's always something that feeds on something else, and keeping these balances in check, and then your shrimp are happy, your fish are happy, everyone's happy. The human observer is happy. Yeah. There's some other ideas with it's technically a non-filter, a no-filter system, although there will be filtration, because plants would aid filtration, and the like lava rock and so on. There will be an air stone, and I will be sort of doing a filtration with that as well. A tube, clear tube, maybe hidden somewhere behind the plants. Eventually, that's the idea. At some point in the future, and down with the air stone in it. The air stone, once it's on, forces water up the tube, and above the water there'll be like a tray that will have some substrate where plants are growing, So that will transport some nutrients into that tray where plants can use those nutrients, and then what drips back out of that tray will be relatively clearer than what was already in the water. Of course, you know, you can get plants that you utilize nutrition in the water column. They don't need to be planted in substrate as well, so that can be done that way around as well. And I'll be putting plants in substrate in the bottom of the aquarium as well. Peace out. Thank you very, very much. I'll look forward to doing another video soon. I hope you enjoyed this one, and it's certainly another one. I just love the room at the moment. It's all the extra space is kind of almost like a sense of freedom, because the other room, yeah, it was more, it was my little space, my living quarters, but it was also too small. So we're discussing the other occupant who said, oh, yeah, you want something bigger and for some of these projects and ideas you have. So, and just a space, my own kind of space, whenever. And, you know, we get along fine. It's just each of us want our own space in our own unique kind of way, and it's doable, far more doable like this. And so much practicality in this room. I've got some nice idea for a corner sofa as well to come in here. So again, that table really, that's on. Get an aquarium stand. I think I got the right one there. But the table can go sort of over here behind me. It would be next to the end of a corner sofa probably, and on that I could have just a few mod cons, a kettle and maybe a tiny microwave. There we have a microwave downstairs, but it's just something else I have in mind for the functionality of the room. It's a chill out room where people, particularly self, if I have a friend over, they can, or family or whoever, it'd be a nice room for them as well if they want to come in and sit. The other room that I was in, the other occupant, I said, oh yeah, sit here, and they was sat on things that you just sit in. What I'm using at the moment, a chair thing that turns into a bed, but it was always a mess, right? And I felt like this is not comfortable. So practicality, functionality, and enjoying different things here to utilize changing this room. And I love that. I really do. It's one of my favorite things is, hey, look what I did by improvising, and it didn't cost me as much or cost me next to nothing. You know, if I like the blinds, for instance, which again is 2 blinds. Don't look like it perhaps from here, but there we go. There's one down and the other still up. If the whole thing needs to go that way, if any of it needs cleaning, I could just take the wooden bar off and then everything comes off together. Like, yeah, that's pretty cool. A bit thundery today. Looking at the cloud, it's rained a bit as well. We've got that thundery feel to it. Anyway, thanks for watching again. It's as you can see, it's like pictures, poster, the cat in a corner. Yeah. Oh yeah, just before I go, this was me prior to really doing the wallpapering. So we go, press play, browse, to show you a quick video. No, it's not working. How do I do that? Oh. In the other room. So yeah, I was in front of the camera. Do I make a video now? And I was just thinking of some things, and but you can see the difference. So there's the same room, but look at it's just the whole look and feel of the room has changed. The whole thing is it feels like an entirely different room. So you see on the wall there was shelving where those two white squares are next to my head, and much further to my left there, your right, was corner shelving. That corner shelving's taken off as well. So yeah, wallpapering done, everything's done, and it's been really enjoyable to do this, and quite a productive project. Then we got notice board as well by the clock. The clock is new, the shelving is new, of course the wallpaper is new, fish tank's new, the modification for the part of the old desk there is kind of new, I guess, and yeah, the extended part of the old one to a new one as well, and certainly that's already had the poster and the Lamborghini picture, and this picture behind me as well. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.